Hello, artists.
And actors
Welcome to Art.
and theater.
Today we're going to look at shadow puppets made out of different shapes, and we're also going to look a little bit at positive and negative space. I'm going to show you how I'm going to make my shadow puppets, and then I'm going to turn it over to Miss Steele so she can show you what to do with those shadow puppets. So, when you are starting out, you want to just draw shapes. This is my positive space. The space in which I've drawn my objects is called my positive space. Everywhere else that I've cut out and I don't want that will end up being the back of my wall that the light shines onto, that's going to be my negative space. So you want to think about a setting and you want to think about characters. So I have a setting of a castle that I'm going to cut out that I just drew from pencil, and I also have my characters. I drew the outline shape of a fairy, and I drew the outline shape of a dragon, since we are dragons for our mascots. So I'm going to cut out these three things, and then I'm going to show you a couple tips and tricks after I cut them out. I have my setting and my characters cut out, but I want to show you a couple tricks if you really want to get more detailed. Now, I tried to cut out little details inside. Yes, in some parts it did rip, and that'll happen, and you just have to take your time with it. So if you want to do cutting like this, and you want to add those extra details of that negative space shining through, for these little holes, I just took my pencil and I oh so gently pushed it through, so I can make another one right here if I want to. Oh so gently, my fingers are holding it behind. I just kind of toggle it back and forth a little bit and push it through just that pencil part, and there it is. There's my little hole that I can use. If I have extra pieces on the side, I can always cut that off. Now for these bigger pieces, let me show you what I can do to make those. So that's how I can make my little holes, is with a pencil. But if I want to make bigger cutout pieces, let's take my castle, for example. If I'm going to take my castle and I flip it over, I still have my pencil lines. So what I want to do is I want to try to fold it as best I can, matching up my lines. Now, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to happen, really, honestly. But we're going to try our best. So what I did is I tried to match up the ground more so. So I'm going to go across. And my paper's folded, so when I open it up, it'll have my door. Now I can use this on the side somewhere else. And now I have my door. Now it's not perfect to my pencil lines, but that's okay. Now I have my door to my castle, I have my dragon, and I have my fairy. When you have all of your pieces ready to go, you're going to want to have a little bit of tape, and tape a stick or a pencil, something long, to your cut out silhouette pieces. I attached mine to a paintbrush because that's all I could find and had around my house that looked okay to tape with it. So when you're doing it, when you're taping it, make sure that it's long enough to go on it so it has a little bit of stability. It doesn't have to go all the way to the top, but you don't want to do it just on the bottom. You want it to be able to stand up on its own, so then I can move and use my pieces around for my shadow puppet performance.
Now that you have your shadow puppets ready to go, I am going to help you bring these puppets to life, okay? So it's going to be really simple for you. What I want you to do is try to see if you can find some sort of wall at home, either inside or outside, that's sort of clear of any other visuals. Make sure it's a wall that's pretty solid and doesn't have, paintings or other kind of hangings that might be on it, or maybe ask your mom and dad and they'll allow you to kind of take some things off the wall to clear a space in your house to do some shadow puppet performances. But you're going to want something that you can project light onto. So try to find a wall or somewhere else in your house where you can project a light, and you can use flashlights are the best, right? Maybe some of you have some reading lights, any kind of light, or you can take a little lamp if you want and kind of angle it down to face the wall, and what it will do is it will then create the ability to project a shadow. So once you have your light source, you want to project it against the wall, and then you can simply just take your shadow puppets and put them in front of the light against, not right against the wall, but put the puppets in front of the light, and the shadows of the puppet will project onto the wall. It's so cool. Now, if you want to take it a step farther, you can take a bed sheet from home, preferably a light colored type of sheet or material, and you can hold that material up in front of the wall, not right up against the wall, maybe like a few inches in front of the wall, and then take your light source and actually put your light source behind the sheet that you're holding up so that your light source is closest to the wall. And you want to face the light source towards the sheet, and then actually take your puppets and go behind the sheet, and you can see the images of the puppets through the sheet where the light source is coming from. It's very fun. There's lots of different ways that you guys can do this. I have a picture for you that I wanted to show you that kind of gives you an idea. See? So this particular version is where they went behind the sheet to project their shadow puppets from the light. So their lights are facing the sheet behind it up against the wall. Or if you don't have a sheet, you don't need one. All you need to simply do, like I said, is project a light against the wall, and you will see the shadows of your puppets come to life. So much fun. Now, I would love for you guys to write a little script and to practice some shadow puppet performing. So when we're doing shadow puppets, clearly we're not using our own bodies for gesture and performance. We're using the shadow puppets to be the characters. So in this particular situation, as actors, we want to work on using our voices, right? We really want to work on character voices. So play around with different tones, different pitches, different ways that you can use your voice to create different characters. So whether that's going really low and grumpy or really high, right? And you're going to speak through your nose and pretend like you're like a little tiny elf or princess or whatever your animal or character is. Have fun with exploring different ways to use your vocal tone to bring those characters to life and have some fun. Create a little performance, right? When we create storylines, we want to remember to give it a beginning, a middle, and an end. And there's always some kind of problem and resolution. So you can also have some fun with your playwriting with this. Come up with a little mini story for your shadow puppets and then perform for some family members at home. What a great way to have some family time, bring everybody together, maybe get some of your other family members involved to be one of the shadow puppets. Create as many puppets as you want, as many that you have resources to create, and just enjoy yourselves, you guys. I would love to see your work. I think it's a little difficult at this point for a lot of friends to videotape their performances. That gets to be sort of a lot of technology. So if you'd like, why don't you go ahead and take a picture of your shadow puppets for me in performance, maybe while you're performing, have a family member take a picture.
Don't forget to share what you do and the puppets that you create with me and Miss Steele through email or on the Google Classrooms to show us the amazing puppets that you made, because we know it's hard for you to record what you might do with your puppets, but please share the puppets that you create with me and Miss Steele. We would love to see them.